This is a breaking news alert from Light & Game Design. A comet has crashed into the desert, and it's being reported that an unknown being is now wandering around sand dunes, heading to a mysterious light at the top of a mountain. My name is Adam, and this is Light & Game Design. I'm here to analyze video game design from my unique perspective as a professional lighting designer. I'm hoping that this can inspire you on your own game design journey. So please subscribe, as I'll be releasing new videos often, and there are many spoilers ahead. Journey puts you on an emotional journey without any dialogue. Every part of the story is absorbed by your experience, but the emotions that you feel are very much being stirred with music and light. It is really important to notice also that the first moment of the game is at sunrise. And that's important because the entire story of Journey takes place over one day, which will give us a sense of time passing, since you're only playing Journey for 2 hours and not the actual 12 hours in the game. But it's only when you finish Journey that you'll realize that this journey from sunrise to nightfall parallels the entire course of our character's life all the way to her death. It's really quite poetic, mirroring the timing of sunrise, sunset, and nightfall to the course of one person's entire life. A player's first thoughts when they get control of the character is, I'm in this giant desert, where am I supposed to go? So to keep with the immersion of Journey being realistic, Journey does not have any maps, HUD elements, or even an objectives list. So where is a player to go? You'll notice on the horizon line, we see a mountain. You know, most video games have mountains in the distance, but they're just the background. Journey's mountain has a mysterious magical light at the top, and because of this light and the absence of any clear objective, the player is going to move towards that mysterious mountain. I found this concept artwork for Journey by Matt Nava, and this image shows you how early in the process they had a decision made to use a magical light on the top of a mountain to draw our eye. It reminds me of a design technique that Walt Disney used for designing the original Disneyland. Walt realized that his dog Duchess would follow him around the house if he had a hot dog weenie in his hands. The dog trusted that Disney would share the hot dog weenie if she kept following Walt around. This inspired Walt to design human hot dog weenies in the distance, like a large castle. The castle pulls the theme park guests' attention to its mystery, and they rush towards the castle, trusting that Disney will share the adventures and secrets on the other side. This is the same design philosophy that Journey's using with their mountain. You always see the mountain's presence, and the players trust that the developers will share the secrets of the mountain if the players just keep heading towards it. Strong game design always starts with strong game movement by the player, and Journey has created a really unique evocative metaphor using movement to explore the challenges people face within their own lives. If she's walking up or through particularly thick sand dunes, the movement is slow and grueling. But at the top of each sand dune, it's a complete joy to ski down the backside. And you'll even get to unlock flying powers, which are a magical resource. So when you contrast the amazing feeling of flying compared to the trudge of climbing sand dunes, it really feels like you're in a cycle. One where you start by struggling, and then you enjoy the success down the other side of the hill. Just like a person would in the struggles throughout their own life. Another way that players feel the mountain's presence is that sunlight is motivated from the same direction as the mountain. Notice how each sand dune has a clean contrast line at the top, specifically since they're backlit by the sunlight. This adds a lot of depth to the 3D meshes, but also allows players clarity to how many dunes they still have to climb, which adds to a sense of journey. Here in the Dune Sea, there's a playful atmosphere as we set free different magic carpets. So the shadows are filled with a gentle pink light, which evokes these gentle and playful feelings. But watch this transition as we slide into an abandoned village. The player's emotions shift from playful to scary and mysterious. That's accomplished with two distinct changes. Adding a dust storm, which reduces visibility, but also changing the pink fill light to a dark brown fill light. I'll rewind that transition again so you can look how pink all of the shadows were. And as we slide down the hill, notice that the level design has lined our path directly with the mountain and its mysterious light, which is brighter than any point so far in the game. As we solve the puzzles within this abandoned village, the tight monochromatic color palette makes these green lights stand out very clearly. That's when I began to realize that Journey is exploring a historical mystery by contrasting natural light with artificial light. Natural light is perfect for knowing that time is passing and that there's nothing you can do to change it, just like how your life is going to end after nightfall. As the sun sets in Journey, we embark on an amazing downhill run that's just plain fun. This is the first step to sunset, and it shifts the sunlight pink while the shadows are blue tinted. A very playful color palette for very playful game design. The level design even capitalizes on architecture to frame the sunset behind the mountain. Like as we jump through this arch, and it lines up perfectly with that giant sun. That means sunset and the mountain was very important to the ancient civilization that built this place. Check out how incredibly bright sunset is as it reflects off the sand and casts huge shadows right in our direction. In contrast, everything else is dark and silhouetted, which keeps the mystery alive. But if this is your entire life, and it's your only sunset, it has to be the most powerful moment, and the players have to feel the sunset emanating from their screen. Watch the last moment of sunset, where you're in a one-way slide down to the caverns, and you know that our character's not going to survive to see another sunset. But in the caverns after nightfall, it's dark, and that's when we begin to realize how many artificial lighting sources are in this world. One of the first artificial lights is a collection of shrines that we activate, and a magical spotlight appears that can transport us to a story being told by the White Robes. The story unfolds about a civilization that discovered the light in the mountain and how that light creates all the life around us. But better than the spotlight coming on is how it fades away, which feels like the soul of the White Robe has left us. The cavern designs have such a different lighting feel, both in shape and color, than the exterior did. We see only tight pools of moonlight that cast shafts of light from above. Also, there's complete darkness in the distant corners of the room, which is a great lighting lesson for all of us that want to create ambitious projects with small teams. You don't need to waste all of your energy making super details in every corner. Letting some corners of the room fall into darkness is both emotionally beautiful while being efficient on your game design team. But in this darkness, we stumble into this room, where you feel like you're being watched or judged from all of these statues staring at you. There's an ominous green uplight on every statue, which feels architecturally intentional, adding to the ominous threat. And then, a creature bursts to life. The devs quickly give us an opportunity to see the creature catching a magical fabric scrap in his headlight before destroying it. Now it's clear we're in a cat and mouse game to avoid being seen by one of those creatures' headlights. So the devs set up this downhill run that forces us to get caught by the creatures. Their stark white headlight focuses tight and turns red, which is never a good sign to have a red light. But at the bottom of the hill, there's a mysterious warm light that gives us something to fight towards. And you'll instinctually realize, hey, if I make it to this hot dog weenie at the bottom, I'm gonna survive. But just as you arrive, the mysterious light grows and a shield blocks the creatures from you. And it's this safe yet artificial warm light that makes you realize you're not alone on this journey. The spirits open the gates to their secret tower room. One light at a time is turned on, which adds a lot of tension to the mystery of what they want us to find at the end of this dark tunnel. We find a huge tower that is dark and a few lanterns as weenies in the distance. And as we arrive at the lanterns, we ignite this first shrine and a magical force flows upwards, starting to light the dark tower. So now it's clear, this room is a puzzle about bringing life and light back to the room. We bounce from platform to platform, turning on one light, second light, third light, all to raise the warm light up the tower. And it's an incredible view once that tower has been fully lit, and now you can fly around it at will. But as we move to leave this warm, safe lighting tower, we can see that the lighting outside is cold and stark. We step outside and find the character is now in moonlight, at the top of the mountain, and everything is a frozen blizzard. She's struggling hard to climb the snow, and you'll notice her scarf has become frozen so she cannot even fly anymore. But we were able to find one shrine and light it and bring some warmth, which made me hopeful that it would stay warm and that we'd be activating more lights just like we did in the tower room. But then that warm light fades out, so I walked back to the shrine, trying to activate its warmth again with a bunch of chirps. But since that light wouldn't turn on, now I felt very much alone and unsafe. You'll keep climbing the summit of the mountain, freezing even as the monsters hunt you down. When I got killed by a couple of the monsters, I realized they were stealing her magical scarf, which removes all of the flying powers that we've learned throughout the game. Since we can't fly, there's nothing left to do but keep struggling up the cold snow mountain until she finally freezes and just dies. That's when the White Robes arrive, resurrect all of her powers, and they bring her to the top of the mountain so she can just cross to the afterlife. There's nothing more powerful than making the several-minute walk into the mysterious light at the top of the mountain. It's during this walk that I realized as a player there was no boss fight, no heroic conclusion. I ran out of the drive to keep pushing forward, and my life just ended. The theme they want us to take home from this video game is very clear. Life is about the journey and not the destination. I hope you guys enjoyed this case study into Journey's lighting. Be sure to check out my earlier video on Abzu, which is the spiritual successor to Journey, if you really enjoyed this. And please subscribe and share on social media. Thanks.